So I received this comment over on TikTok from this deranged lunatic. Basically just a troll, there's so many of them. When you're doing this social media stuff, the trolls are just abundant. He felt the need, I'm guessing it's a male, most likely, but he felt the need to put this comment. And he puts here, no matter how much it hurts you, mulattoes will always be seen and treated, hear that guys, treated as black by other races because mulattoes are derived from blacks. Well, guess what, buddy? Mulattoes are also derived from whites. And of course, they always switch it up and move the goalposts when he talks about they're seen and treated as black by other races. Well, why do you people cry colorism every damn day? Why do you people cry featureism and texturism every day? We know why, because mulattoes are not the same as you people. And stop the cap, but we know you won't. I mean, you guys are heavily invested in trying to keep us as your subordinates. Unfortunate for you and for y'all, you got people like me out here, and the audience is growing, the mulatto consciousness is growing, and people are waking up and realizing, wait a second, they got another option. They don't have to put up with your bullshit, and they're not going to. And then he puts, mulattoes are blacks with light or brown skin, and that does not make them superior to other blacks because they are and will always be black. He puts a smiling face, right? But he says, mulattoes, you're just blacks. You're just a light-skinned black, or you got brown skin. They wear their blackness like a scar, right? And I'm not saying all, but a lot of them, they hate themselves. That's why they don't gatekeep their culture and their group and their identity. That's why they give it to everybody. But they put this label and throw it on everybody. And then at the same time, they turn around and cry about colorism. Like, this doesn't make sense. Like, you're operating like a child. Like, you want your cake and you want to eat it too. You want to boost your numbers up in North America. See, because the continental Africans, black people in Africa, they don't play this shit. They don't play this, oh, well, you're mulatto, you're light skin or brown skin, you're still a black. Like, they don't play that shit over there. See, that's what it's specific. It's this North American Bantu pathology where they want to claim the mulattoes because they want the numbers and the influence, and they want to bastardize women. I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of these males, that's their goal. Like a Kendrick Lamar. He's got a mixed race baby mama, but then he's talking shit about the mixed race man, Drake. It's very common when you examine their communitaw politics. They don't gatekeep their identity and group. And it just shows you the level of self-hate. They want to label blackness and throw that label on everybody. But then at the same time, once you get more shine than them, like a Drake, then they fucking cry and say, oh, because Drake, because his mom's Jewish, he grew up in a Jewish neighborhood. Like, you've been calling them black for 15 plus years forever. You guys see, they always switch it up. Then they cry colorism when you become more famous or more acceptable to them in society. So this guy's full of crap. He's saying you're treated as black, but if that was so, why do they cry featureism and texturism? Well, because we're not the same as you, right? So you can play the games, but I saw this comment. I was like, this is hilarious. This is just more content for me. And then he puts here, as much as you as a mixed or mulatto person want to reject your black side, you see that? Rejecting, when have I ever stated I reject my black side? But by you identifying as mulatto, they're very fearful of that. And that's why they always resort to the same. This is like what blackistan gaslighting tactic number 4, we can say. This is such a common theme for them, one of their gaslighting tactics. You're just a light-skinned black, and that's blackistan gaslighting number 2. We're all mixed. That's number 3. I'm saying this is number 4, where he's like, well, you reject your black side. I've never rejected it. By stating I'm mulatto, I'm saying I'm a different race than you, different ethnicity, different culture, whole different identity than a black American. I've never once rejected my black side, but that's because they hate themselves. So they project that onto you. That's really what it is. I mean, someone pointed out to me as well in one of my comments, I forgot what video, but they pointed out that it's interesting. A lot of mulattoes and just other mixed people, they uplift their blackness more than even monoracial blacks in America. I'm saying, okay, African Americans. A lot of mixed people, number one, because a lot of times they're trying to overcompensate, improve themselves for membership access into the communitaw. So that's number one. But number two, a lot of us, like, we were raised in environments where it's like we weren't like as the guy puts here, treated as you're black. I wasn't treated like I was black like that. There were some times where, yeah, there was some hostility because I was the only, like we can say, person of color in the room. But that made me kind of embrace my roots more. And what I'm saying is that this guy who put a comment, he mentioned that it's his observation was a lot of, mixed people and mulattoes specifically. Yeah, we have always been embracing our African side. Even for me, like going to Ghana for the year of return in 2019, embracing my African roots. Like I can say that a lot of these blacks you talk to and African Americans, they can't say that. They've never been to Africa. A lot of them. They rather go to a Latin country, and fornicate or go to Europe or something and instead of, investing in searching for their roots, right, in Africa. It's typical. You'll talk to a lot of black Americans. They've been to Europe, they've been to Italy and all this, but they haven't been to Africa. So it's very telling. So the projection here is very interesting. And then he puts your black side will always belong to you in the eyes of other races. So this is like the scare tactics, the fear tactics they always push, right? Because blackistan gaslighting tactic number one, numero uno, is when the police pulls you over, they finna seize you as a black. See, all that is like this scare tactic, fear tactic to get you to kind of bend the knee, to subdue you and like, oh, you're going to make you scared. Oh, the whites, they really see you as one of us. You're just one of us. You have to accept it. Like they're trying to humble you and shit. Like what? I get a kick out of it because like I could be a lot ruder than I want to be, but I'm sitting here being more polished. Like this is hilarious. Like they try to like humble you with this language. I call it primitive savagery. This tribalist, this language where it's like these other groups, they just see you as black and treat you as such. They don't accept you or like you, so you got to put up with my black bullshit. No, the fuck I don't. I sit there and laugh. I don't have kids like you. I'm with you. I'm not one of these biracial baby mamas who you have quote unquote blacked, okay, bastardized essentially. I'm not one of them. Like, see, that's often why they target the mulatto females, especially if they can bastardize them, make them baby mamas. See, that's easy for them. But when they see males like me who are talking our shit, we have social media, they tend to get a little fearful because they know, oh, wait, I'm going to inspire people. I'm an inspirational voice. People are going to hear me and then they're going to develop some courage. These other mulattoes are like, oh, shit, we got our own spot. We got our tribe now, our own community. We got our own space, right? And what they'll always do is interlope in our space and pretend to be mixed. I've been seeing it since day one, since I've heard of these mixed spaces. I was like, wait a second. But yeah, check this out as well, because I just saw this. A Dominican woman shared this with me over on TikTok the other day. And it's a Dominican woman expressing everything I just talked about in this video. So check this out.
I was working a few days ago and I had a customer. He was African American, he was black. And I told him, oh, I'm from Dominican Republic. So he told me, oh, you're black. But he said it like, you're black. And I was like, okay. And he was like, no, but a lot of Dominican people, they think they're not black, but they're black. And I was like, okay. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people are just miserable. And they're not happy with what they are. And then they want to make sure that other people are miserable too. And they're not happy either. It's like...
So shout out to this Dominican woman for hitting the nail on the head, and shout out to the other Dominican woman who shared this video with me. But everything that this lady said in this video clip is spot on. It's like the whole misery loves company component, where it's like a lot of them, they're miserable. So they see you, they want to like throw this kind of blackness label on you. It's like they wear it as like a scar. Like they don't like themselves. They're miserable. So they want you to be miserable with them. And often what they do is they use these scare tactics, right? Well, everyone's just going to see you as black. Well, over here in my country, where my granddaddy was a slave, well, see, today in 2025, you going to be seen as black. We're like, what? You're still pulling this crap today, like this humbling tactic. They want to humble you and beat you down. Now, like I said, with this lady, it's oftentimes they'll target the women because they feel like it's easier prey, right? And then once they can have a kid with her, kind of, what they call baby trap her, bastardize her, then they that's a real win for them in their community. That's how a lot of the males, they measure up to each other, right? No businesses, no infrastructure, no networks, but they have bastard kids by these women who are not black. So they feel like they're conquerors. They've done something, successful. So that's how a lot of them measure themselves. And it's pretty sad, but so they look at a lot of these women as being easy targets. That's why they typically target them with this crap. But sometimes the males, they'll put comments on my page with the same stuff. We've already seen all this stuff. It's the whole misery loves company, and they want to throw that black label on you. And it's like, well, who the hell wants to be black now? The way you present it, like there's no exclusivity for it. Like it's a very depressing label. The way a lot of these people they throw it on us. What do you guys have to say about this? Very common. I know a lot of you guys have something to say about this, so please drop a comment and let's keep the conversation going. Peace.
Perfect. 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 Perfect.